What's up, guys? One of my favorite things to do is share from my notebook of gems that I've collected over the last few years. And anytime, like, I learn something or something, like, sparks something inside of me, I write it down. So this next one, being open about your mental health can help someone else feel less alone. And I remember when I wrote that in my notebook. So a couple years ago, I shared on social media how I struggled with my mental health, um, and how going to the beach was always like a place for me to kind of like unwind and de-stress. And the amount of people who reached out to say, like, I feel you, I struggle with my mental health too. I just have like never been open enough to talk about it. Like, thanks for sharing. And I was just like, wow, like I was just trying to get something off my chest and like share from like a realistic, genuine, vulnerable place because I was just sick of social media being a highlight reel and I wanted to like genuinely share what I was going through. And I know that made me feel so much better to feel like I'm not the only one who struggles with their mental health. And so anytime I'm struggling, like now I know that there's other people out there and there's people that I can turn to when like I don't know what to do or like I don't know how to feel better. And there used to be like such a stigma growing up, at least for me, with mental health, and like only crazy people went to therapy, and like that's what my family always said. And so when I was in therapy, like actively in therapy, my family had no idea I was in therapy because I was just like I like didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to be judged. But therapy helped me so much, and like I wish that when I was younger there would have been like safe spaces for me to openly talk about my struggles, because I know that I started struggling with my mental health when I was in 5th grade, and it just like ups and downs. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, now I have like the tools to, you know, like talk about it and reach out to people. But back then, like when you're in middle school, like your friends, like they don't know how to help you. Like, and if you tell them you're like feeling like bad about yourself, they're probably just gonna bully you even more. At least that's what would have happened if I had said that to my friends back in the day. So, I don't know, just like sharing your own struggles is not only like freeing for you, but it really opens the door for like conversations to happen, like deep, meaningful conversations that may not have happened. And there's like so many people just like struggling in silence because there are certain people that still say, oh, like you're just sharing about your mental health because like you want attention, like blah blah blah. And then say something happens to that person, then the same exact people like, oh, I wish they reached out, I wish they like asked for help. And it's like, you can't do both, Karen. You can't share about your mental health and then like want attention. Like, no, that's not a thing. So I feel like sharing about your mental health is just, it needs to be more common. And I know my last job, I was like very open about being in therapy and, was open with certain people about like the struggles I was going through. And like, I was criticized because I was in leadership and, you know, you can't show emotions and blah, 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 and whatever. But then there was other people who came to me because they were also struggling and felt like I was a safe space. So I will continue to share about my struggles because, one, I don't want to suffer in silence, and two, when I'm in a good place, I want to be able to be a safe space for other people to share. Because it's really hard going through things when you don't have someone to like lean on or talk to about it, or anyone who like really understands the struggles. And it's been a little bit for me since I've been in a really dark place, and I'm like super grateful for that. But I just remember, what was it, like a year and a half ago, when I was in like my darkest place, just like thinking no one cared, and there was like no one I could reach out to, and it was just like this spiral of like darkness. And then like a few weeks after, when like I came out of that, it's like my life is like so wonderful, and like I wish people and myself, like I wish I could remember that when I'm going through it, because it can be tough. It can definitely be tough, and I'm grateful that I do have people in my life that know that I struggle with my mental health and check in, and are also like safe spaces for me. And no one would know that I was ever struggling if I had never spoken about it. So that is my tidbit for the day. Obviously, this is not like mental health advice or anything like that, like at all. But if you are struggling, definitely find someone who's a safe space for you and share with them, because I promise you there are people who care, and it's better to be here than to be gone. So that's it for today. Got a little dark, but life needs duality. So I will talk to you soon.